Oh yes, legends, we are live. How is everybody doing? What happened to Bitcoin? Why did we crash? Why did we have this flash crash, basically? We're going to be explaining this situation, but I have to say that we basically knew yesterday that we were going to have a potential correction. It was based on liquidity, based on technical analysis, and it did happen, right? It did happen, as we can see on the chart. This was something that we were discussing throughout yesterday's stream, right? Where we had the possibility of the price to actually come all the way down to $90,400, basically sweep those lows that we did have from last week, okay? Sitting at around about $90,500. And it happened, legends. Now, we were talking about people are going to question what happened, right? Based on, maybe getting some fundamental news, some big institutions selling or whatever, or just a normal liquidation event, right? But there was technical analysis and reasons to believe that this was a very high possibility. We're going to give that explanation. If you did miss out on yesterday's stream, there was slightly less people on yesterday's live stream, and it was very important to understand what the heck happened, right? Why understand this short position. I got into an extremely small position yesterday from the zone, but we did talk about the possibility of, hey, you can risk peanuts here, right? If you go through yesterday's stream around about minute 37, saying, hey, if you're not sure about this setup that could give you a 5, 6, 7 to 1 risk reward, then you can go with peanuts, right? Just put $10 in, right, to take the shot. Risking 0.5%, 1% of your trading capital, right? It's a small amount just to realize that this flash crash, this big liquidation event that usually happens in an ABC flat, right? An ABC flat is well known because of the C wave being so fast and actually sweeping up all of that liquidity. So this is basically what happened, right? When we were talked about yesterday, it's going to happen fast, guys, and people will basically have their socks blown off, right? Because how fast this could be. We were going in detail yesterday on, if this does happen, it's going to happen very, very fast, potentially between, yesterday and today. It did happen faster than expected. So we've got that liquidity. When we go to the liquidity heat map, we can see how we had that flush, right? There's a few $1 billion, right? Several hundred million here of liquidity being swept with that major drop. And there's a technical reason to understand this movement down, guys. Smash up the like button because, let me know if anyone was live on YouTube talking about this. I know 𝗕𝗏𝘆 was very much aware of this situation about getting this movement to the downside. There's going to be we're gonna go through the technicals. We're gonna explain, right? Because we actually said, guys, we're gonna go live tomorrow, and there's gonna be people not understanding this flash crash, saying, why did Bitcoin drop over $10,000? And we're gonna go live tomorrow, and we're gonna pull out yesterday's stream, saying, there you go, right? We were very much aware of the situation to come back down to sweep last week's low. So, you can speculate whatever you want. You can say it was this news, it was this bad news, it was just a liquidity grab, too many longs. You can speculate on many different things. But overall, the best is knowing the charts and knowing the technical analysis, believing that, hey, there is a high probability that this could happen. Based on the technicals, the way that the chart has moved all the way up here, counting the last few weeks price action and understanding the timing and the waves and the Fibonacci targets, that there is a chance of the price actually rejecting here, creating a failed auction from $100,000 plus and coming all the way down to sweep up the lows from last week. Now, we are going to give that explanation in detail, so make sure to stay tuned, guys, because I'm not sure if you're going to see another channel out there that is going to go in detail on why this has happened and what is to happen next. Okay, most importantly, right? What is to happen next, and what are the major levels that we need to pay attention if those levels are hit? Keeping it simple, keeping it nice and sweet, providing the previous live stream to say, guys, this is what we talked about yesterday. What we talk about today will be talked about in tomorrow's live stream. So let's go right away through the technical analysis. Before we're going to go through the live stream, but I need you legends to smash up the like button. I think interest is going down without a doubt, even though, you know, the potential projections, the risk management explained on the channel is, you know, you do have it there. Take it with a grain of salt, of course, as always. But overall, the interest is going down for some reason on the channel. Make sure to destroy the like button, share some love, some support, because if I see interest going down, my interest is going to go down to keep the educational content, look at the Bitcoin technical analysis, the different predictions that we've been talking about throughout the last few weeks on many different altcoins that are bottoming out. Of course, we're going to talk about the ones from the last few days. I haven't forgotten about those ones, and letting you understand that small little pullbacks are very likely still before we get the next rally on these altcoins that have been mentioned the last week. But the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, we've been talking about Constellation DAG, we've been talking about Cadena, Illuvium, looking for this to be the bottom formation. Many different trading setups based on technical analysis. We are investors, we buy on spot for the long term or even the short term, in this case on this altcoin pump that we've had throughout the last few weeks. But we are Bitcoin traders as well. We know the highest probability movements that have to come for Bitcoin, just like this one yesterday, dropping from $103,000. Hey, if you zoom in on this, you will see exactly how we're looking at the 103,600 to potentially top out and form a lower high. I was aware of the highs being claimed, but I was interested in a double top as well, and, you know, look for the movement down. If you look at this, where the exact entry is at $103,700, $600, right, in that zone with stop loss at the highs, and looking for $90,400 to be hit, basically the lows. When you take a look at the bounce that happened yesterday from that level, I mean, in the Legends trading community, we did go a little bit in detail as well on what could potentially happen. You can see how the price moved all the way up to 103,700 and basically went all the way down to 90,350. And when you go exactly at the entry zone, I mean, I'm not going to say, I mean, this was actually pretty spot on based on the entry level, okay, I have to say. I mean, the speculation of this lower high was basically sweeping up some of those lower highs of this downtrend. But the entry was pretty exact from that short all the way down to the exact level here at $90,400. You know, sometimes I even surprise myself saying, what the heck is going on, right? Sometimes I surprise myself, gotta be honest. Anyway, nobody cares of what happened yesterday because potentially, you know, you said, okay, you know, that's happened, you know, applause on you. Nobody cares. You know, let's try and predict the next levels and the potential scenarios based on the technicals, right? Because, you know, I could not pull out this chart. I know I talk a lot the first 10 minutes, and it does look like I am talking a lot of BS here, but I like to pull out the chart and the live stream from yesterday. I do this every single day. Every single live stream, we pull out the previous live stream to talk about what was mentioned. And I just love doing it because, you know, we have reasons to believe, you know, the different projections on the move of the chart. And I just love it. Whatever is talked about today on the analysis and the potential setups, we are going to do the same thing, even though if it's a stop loss or it's a massive take profit zone. So we'll be doing that. We do that every single day. It's nothing new, right? We don't suddenly forget what was mentioned yesterday or the last few days. We're going to go and talk about through the altcoins that have been mentioned throughout the last week as well, right? We ain't forgetting about them, such as 𝗫𝗫, right? PRQ. There is some new ones as well. I'm just going to say we need to remain patient. This one will pop at some stage. However, it is a low cap, and you need to understand that we need to remain a little bit patient, just like the ones that we were patient throughout the last 1 to 2 months. We were talking about many different ones. You know, we've been talking about this one since September, Constellation DAG. It did not pump till, you know, 2 weeks ago. So we were remaining patient for several weeks before it popped. Same scenario for these low cap coins, guys. such as 𝗕𝗫, which I think is a very, very good crypto project, and the chart looks amazing before getting that breakout. We'll be going through some altcoins. There is some new picks. Make sure to stay tuned. I need you to destroy the like button, guys. We need to get the word out there. You want to get into these opportunities. I mean, Constellation DAG has been hitting the 10-cent level throughout the last few days, doing almost a 4x in about 2 weeks. The same with Cadena and many other ones that have been talked about. So we need to spread the word, guys. Let's make the people take advantage of this crypto bull run. And I'm going to make you understand that there's high probability that Bitcoin will hit all-time high. Have to say, this flash crash that happened with Bitcoin didn't affect much the altcoins, right? And there's a reason. I mean, this was just a Bitcoin flash crash liquidity grab based on the technicals on the ABC flat right there. And we're still very much ranging, right? Bitcoin is not getting a major crash of 20%. It's just been a flash crash. We're still in the zone. And, I do believe that all-time high will be hit in the next coming days. Of course, the weekend is known to be quite choppy and not having too much volume. But, yeah, basically, I'm going to explain throughout today's technical analysis why there is higher probability in taking out all-time high than actually breaking down from this low of the wick of yesterday. And maybe some of you that have experience will understand that, right? Yeah, it's pretty obvious. We've claimed the liquidity down below. This is healthy. It makes sense that we do go to higher levels, but I want to explain it also with the technical analysis, right? Just to back it up a little bit more. And also talking about where to trade, right? Where to take that opportunity with good risk management, right? Which you're probably not going to get in other places, right? You're just going to get a tweet from somebody that has hundreds of thousands of followers to saying, this is healthy, we're likely going to go higher. But do they know what waves are going to happen throughout this area, right? And giving the explanation on the possible setup. So I need you to destroy the like button, guys, right away, because, hey, it's very, very low. Been getting 1,000 viewers on average. My goodness, I'm pretty surprised. I'm surprised. What can I say? Smash up the like button, legends, because I don't need to do this. Let me tell you that. I don't need to do this. I do this to for the attention, without a doubt, but we do provide the previous videos and live streams to basically back up what was said, and the technical analysis as well, most importantly, right? Because when we get into a bear market, we are going to be here still. We're going to be here active still, especially in the Legends trading community, talking about the technical analysis, the trading setups, right? And we back up, what we talk about. So smash up the like button and we will continue, because I need to see that like button at least to 200 likes. Come on, legends. This is just, I cannot believe it. And if there's another channel where, I'm going to end up the stream and we can go and follow somebody else, right? We can just go and hang out and watch somebody else, because this takes energy, power, right? And it's all given to you as education, and just manage risk as well. All of this is provided here on the live stream. So I need to see a little bit of love, guys. I'm here for you. You are here for me. So let's go right away. Enough talk. It is time, right? It is time. I don't know what's wrong with me. The first 10-20 minutes of the live stream, I like to do a little bit of talk, get some people joining in. Smash up the like button, guys, before we get into the meat and potatoes, right? Before we get into the meat and potatoes and start, talking about pure technical analysis and what could happen next for the price of Bitcoin, because there's opportunities every single day. Who cares about this short trade that was mentioned, this liquidity grab, if nobody catched it, right? Or you got into a small position. Even myself, I got into an extreme baby position here and even didn't take profit down at the lows. I went to sleep. I left a small little speculative short and just made $750 on this move. It's a day trade. We'll close it and we'll look for the next trading setup, right? Together here. The next one that I could take in the next coming hours, or maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I wasn't too sure about this short trade based on, some other factors that was mentioned yesterday. So I didn't go full on with this. I decreased the capital that I usually enter, just because there were some potential signs that those highs could have been taken, right? We had a bullish case scenario that could have taken this high, okay? So that when you're not that sure, you decrease the amount of risk, right? So, but it doesn't matter. There's opportunities every single day, and we just want to look for the best opportunities. That's what we do, right? So it doesn't matter. We are day traders, and there's opportunities every single day. And this is why you're here. Let's go right away. Live trades. Let's go. Yeah, live trade. That was the short trade from yesterday. Nothing too serious. But overall, it's the tradings. We talked about, guys. Hey, I'm in a short trade from this zone. I'm aware of the high to be taken. I would be interested in a double top as well to get into that short trade. But if you want to short here, this bounce, just decrease the capital. Very much mentioned that I'm in a small position, and that there is a chance of taking out the high based on the bullish case that we explained also on yesterday's stream. But that was the trade that was taken, and we're going to talk about the next scenario that I would be interested in today's stream. Okay, so make sure to stay tuned, and we'll be going right away. First of all, through the Bitcoin technical analysis. Okay, then I got a bunch of altcoins, new fresh altcoins, right, that haven't started pumping yet, right? We know we have some altcoins from the previous weeks that we basically talk about on and on, right? The bottom formations. And we still have some that haven't pumped yet, right? That has been mentioned throughout the last week. Don't worry, guys. They will have their moment, all right? Just because they're not pumping now doesn't mean they won't pump next week or in the next 2 weeks. They will have their moment, and I explained this throughout the previous videos and live streams, right? Where we understand the money flow, right? These are low cap coins. These are mid-low cap coins. That the money flow from Bitcoin to Ethereum and mid caps, right? The high caps, sorry. They haven't flown into these mid-low caps, which they will have their moment. And it's pretty simple to understand. They actually lag behind ever so slightly from a few weeks, maybe 1 week, maybe 2-3 weeks. They do lag behind. This one did get the rally that we had in Q1 of 2024, right? Of this year. They all end up getting the rally. They all end up getting the rally. Everything pumps, right? It doesn't take everybody's a genius season. Okay, so however, we want to be in the pump. We do not want to get in the pump. We want to be in the pump, right? Already in the pump. So this is why it's important to understand, hey, where to get into these cryptocurrencies. Hey, your crypto hasn't pumped yet. Hey, this, the other. There's many that have pumped. This is why we focused in the last few weeks on mid-high caps, right? Constellation DAG, Cadena, Illuvium, right? These ones have already a few 100 million market capitalization. Now we're going to go a little bit into the degen ones, right? The mid caps also that have a few 100 million, but also the ones that have, 50 million, 30 million market cap, right? Going a little bit more dangerous, right? A little bit more volatile. They're not pumping. Why aren't they pumping? Don't worry, guys. They will have their chance, all right, in the next coming weeks. Not to worry. It's all about being patient and understanding where we want to buy. We do not want to buy the pump. We want to be inside of the pump. And this is why you're here, guys. If you are a legit subscriber, you're in the game, baby. Don't worry. You'll stay safe. You will not FOMO into the pumps because we never do that. So let's go right away through the comment section, okay, and say hello to the beautiful community. We're getting some people. We got 700 people. This is it, guys. Absolutely legend. If you're new to the channel, welcome. You're going to see here the most pure technical analysis, right? Whether it's right or it doesn't play or not. But this is, if you are wanting to learn technical analysis, educational content based on TA, and also looking for some altcoin opportunities, I have to say, you're in the place. You're in the right place. Yesterday, we were speculating on this flash crash. We actually said, hey, there could be a flash crash based on the technical analysis and the liquidity that was sitting here. Also the last few weeks looking at these bottom formations on many different altcoins, right? This has been in November mainly, all right? Also in October and September. But overall, if you're a new subscriber, welcome. You're going to have a good time, baby, in this bull run. Let's go right away through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community, and let's just crack on with Bitcoin. And shut up, Andy, already. A lot of talk, but where's the technicals? Where's calm down? Everything's gonna fall into place fall into place. We love to bring up the previous stream and analyze the different projections that we talked about. Okay, so welcome. Let's get to 300 likes. We can do that. All right. I'm gonna make you work for this live stream, legends. I'm gonna make you work. Let's get to 300 likes if you want to see the meat and potatoes, guys. All right, so I need you to smash up the like button if you want to see the magic. You want to see the magic and the projections, right? And the different scenarios, just like one here yesterday, right? I need to see a little bit of love, because if not, we are not going to be sharing the knowledge. Come on, legends, we can get there. I'm going to go through the comment section as you guys destroy the like button, and we will get into the meat and potatoes now in the next coming minutes, guys. What's Bitcoin going to do next? Boom, boom, boom. We know the highest probability. I know you're going to know very soon. So destroy the like button, because I got a good one here for you. Pac-Man, my man. Well, hello, legends. Let's smash up the like button in anticipation of this upcoming live stream. You know it's going to be a good one. There we have him, the legend himself, Pac-Man. Much love to you, my brother. I absolutely adore you. I love you. You're the man, one of my moderators here. Where's Mariella? Where's Aditya? Are they around? I'm going to go through the comment section. Sorry, guys. I'm making this a little bit of a show, but it is a show at the end of the day. It's Crypto Bull Run. We're making gains. There we go. Above 300 likes. There we got it, guys. Okay, enough talk. Quick hello on the comment section. I know there's loads of altcoins. Take a look at Doge, take a look at this, take a look at that. I'm going to focus the Bitcoin technical analysis. I'm getting super chats already. The first 15 minutes of the stream, we're going to focus on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the king. Bitcoin is the leader. Bitcoin is telling us what could happen next for the altcoins. I can tell you that the altcoins will likely do pretty okay in the coming weeks. We ain't going to see any big major crashes or anything. We're just likely going to see some small little pullbacks and continuation to the upside. Thanks to Bitcoin, thanks to this flash crash that we had yesterday, we have green lights now. Despite any correction, we have high probability that a higher low could be in the formation here, and I'll explain why in this live stream, legends. Okay, ASDF, hello. Kem, hit the like button. Borders, so many weird names here that I can't shout out here on the stream. Why don't we have normal names? Unsung, Salvatore, how are you doing? David, NH80, Doge, long or short? We can take a look at Doge later on, okay? First of all, I like to keep it a little bit organized, even it doesn't look organized on my streams. I like talk, comment section, this, that, the other, Bitcoin, this. I like to try and keep Bitcoin the first 10, 15 minutes. Then we're going to go and maybe 20 minutes, right? If we go much in detail, we can be in an hour talking about Bitcoin. You know that. But I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet, right? On Bitcoin, 15, 20 minutes. That's what I'm aiming for. Then we're going to jump to my new fresh altcoins that haven't gotten out of the accumulation zone of the last few months. They are still in there. We're going to go quickly 10 minutes into those altcoins. Bing, bang, bang. You know, the ones that I am buying here throughout the last couple of days. And we're going to take a look at your altcoin in the comment section. We're going to pick 5, 10, right, and do some quick basic analysis and try and understand where we are, okay? This is how the live stream is going to progress. So make sure to stay tuned. Chill, guys. You know, when I'm doing Bitcoin, I really do not read the comment section. I cannot get distracted. We need to focus on the technical analysis and the reasons behind these movements, right? So I'm going to continue saying hello. David, how are you doing, my man? Jimmy, Jackie Wood, I got my mother here, always bringing support. She's my #1 supporter. Much love to you, mother. She's in the comment section. Odin, my man, how are you? Fast and actually 200, but thankfully DCA faster. Okay, Odin, my man, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. Pac-Man moderator, Frank, David, cheeseburger. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild, he's saying, with this flash crash. Hex, how are you doing? Nisenti. All right, legends, it is about time. I cannot go through all of the different comments. We have some super chats. I'm sorry, guys, if I start going through super chats, we ain't going to focus on Bitcoins. And, you know, we're going to see a lot of people just leaving. I'll leave the super chats. Hey, Andy, can you take a look at Pith Network? Love the education. Thanks. Kem, I will take a look at Pith later on. I will let Pac-Man, I'll tell Pac-Man to remind me later on in the comment section. We also have RVM. Hi, Andy. Will Link retest all-time high in this cycle? I do believe so. I do believe that Chainlink has a high chance in going to all-time high. However, I'm thinking of taking some profits at round about the $30-$40 range. There is an explanation behind this. I've been buying Chainlink for years right now and have thousands of Chainlink, and I just want to get, you know, I married Chainlink. You know, they say never marry an asset or a cryptocurrency. Well, I married Chainlink since 2019. I was in love. I never took profits on Chainlink. It is time to divorce from Chainlink and start taking that money out, right? Because it's enough. Enough is enough. Chainlink has been cheating on me. I really did think that Chainlink was going to hit $100. It might hit it in the near future, but I've had enough. So I will be scaling out. I would never sell all of my Chainlink, just like I will never sell all of my Bitcoin, but I will take some profits. I got you, brother, says Pac-Man. All good, brother Oding. Hope you're doing well, my man. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Hello, everybody. Steve, great man. How are you? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. You and your family, much love. I want to read every single comment here. I love you guys. Let's focus on the Bitcoin technical analysis. Woo. Right. Based on yesterday's live stream, anybody that was not around, we were speculating on this flash crash, okay? So, yeah, we're going to move forward right now from this flash crash, right? Sweeping up those lows from last week at $90,000. What comes next? If we knew that this was a high probability to happen, you know, I was leaning more on the bearish side than actually the bullish side to get continuation to the upside. That was mentioned yesterday. I prefer the bearish case. It looks higher likely than the bullish one. It was explained yesterday. So now that this has happened, what comes next? What do you have with your crystal ball? Because I do have a crystal ball here, and I need to ask him right now, what's going to happen next? And only joking, legends. Of course, we don't have a crystal ball. It's just pure technical analysis, and we're going to build it up right now. So if, you know, this movement happened, right? As we got this move, stay tuned. Andy has some alpha later on. 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽𝗫. Sorry, guys. I got distracted because 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽𝗫 is here in the comment section, and I need to give 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 a shout out because one of the altcoins that I'm going to talk about is from 𝗕𝗏𝘏𝘽, and it's actually a pretty solid project. And he shared that altcoin with me today, and it looks amazing. I need to give a shout out to 𝗕𝗏𝘏𝘽 right away. And you can, if you don't know who 𝗕𝗏𝘏𝘽 is, he's an absolute legend. He is here in the pinned comment, guys. He also has a YouTube channel providing great education. And if you don't know him, he's in the comment section right now. I've just pinned him on the comment section. Go and check him out. 𝗕𝗏𝘏𝘍𝗏𝘍. the goat. Yeah, you got Joel here saying 𝗕𝗏𝘏𝘍𝗏𝘍 the goat. He is the goat of the goats. So you want to go and check him out. If you don't know who he is, there he is right over here. He is a coach in the Legends trading community, providing live streams every single day there, Monday to Friday. Go and check him out on YouTube because you get great education. If you want more, you have the Legends trading community. This is where we are active every single day, providing the analysis in detail, trading setup scenarios, and you also get the modules where you'll be learning from A to Z, right? The basics and more advanced stuff in technical analysis. It's the first link down below. That is if you're interested in taking your trading to the next level. It's the place to be. You will not be sorry in the coming months, I can tell you that, because then you will come out with some projections and predictions like this, because we go in detail with the different confluence levels and different scenarios. Shout out to 𝗕𝗏𝘏𝘍𝗏𝘍. That had to be done because he's here in the comment section. Had to be done. Andy Love from Pakistan. Right, enough. I have I have an attention problem, guys. You can see that right now. We're trying to do Bitcoin analysis, right? And I'm getting distracted. This is not good. No bueno. It's no bueno. Legends, we need to focus on Bitcoin right away. Hey, that's enough. I'll go through the comment section later on, guys, please. Anyway, you have a good time in the comment section. Let me just build up the technical analysis and the different scenarios that could happen here for Bitcoin in between today and tomorrow. Just a quick note, we do have some news in about an hour from now, okay? we do have some news. Unemployment rate is coming out in 1 hour. All right. We might see a little bit of volatility. Any positions that is taken throughout the next coming hours, be cautious with those small little spikes, liquidity grabs. We don't know what, how is this going to affect the market? Okay. Unemployment rate. Hopefully it's going to be lower than expected, so it doesn't F up the market, right? If it is going to be very high, then we might get a major dump on stocks, providing that dump for Bitcoin and crypto. Hopefully it's going to be around about 4.1 or 4%. Nothing too severe. If it's lower, even better. And we get the bull market to continue, right? With any of these, news events, just stay cautious with the volatility, right? That's happening in exactly 1 hour from now. Well, exactly 56 minutes. Let's leave it that way. Let's go right away and continue with the technical analysis, right? I got a blank chart here, guys. I'm starting from scratch, right? No matter how much knowledge you have, we're starting from zero, right? What the heck happened yesterday? Well, we knew that there was a high chance in this drop happening. Now that this drop has happened, the main reason why we're just going to focus here throughout the last 2 weeks, right? The main reason, based on Elliott wave theory, we were speculating on that possibility of, creating this ABC flat. As we've created this ABC flat right now, for me, the highest probability with or without pullbacks is continuation to the upside, to all-time high, with pullbacks or without pullbacks. Now, this is the difficult part, right? Should I jump into the long now? What should I do? Shall we wait? Am I going to miss the long? This was an epic long, by the way. If you manage to get into this swing failure pattern, if we know that we're coming down to this low and we do not continue the breakdown, I mean, whoever longed here is an absolute god, right? Whoever longed here, the liquidity grab from the lows of last week is a legend. Let's leave it that way, right? Whoever longed here is an absolute legend, right? I was asleep already when this happened. So whoever longed this, I have to say, is in a good position, and I would maybe take a bit of profits off the table, but I would maintain some of this long open based on the technicals. Maybe this has been the end of a corrective structure, and we are ready, baby, to claim some new all-time highs in the next coming days. So, just for anybody that is new in the channel, somebody new that is joining, we knew that this was a high probability move. We actually got that bounce all the way back up to $103,600. We actually moved up to that zone, lower high, 61878 zone, and then got the movement down. We knew this based on the technicals, that it was the highest probability then actually continuing to the upside to get this liquidity grab. I mean, liquidity was also helping us, right? Saying, guys, we've swept the liquidity to the upside above 100K. Now it's time to sweep up that liquidity below 93K, right? So, I mean, liquidity was helping, was giving a bit of confidence for that flash crash as well. I have to say, it was not only the technicals, even the technicals was the main reason. If you have liquidity here, then, just gives you a little bit of more confidence. And the CVD, my goodness, there were so many people long in here. It was absolutely crazy. So many people long in here. Yesterday, Bybit, there was, I don't know, there was hundreds of millions of longs entering here with this movement up above 100K. I was like, oh my goodness, these are going to get liquidated. These guys that are long in here, they have a high chance of getting liquidated. And yeah, eventually they did. Eventually, whoever's been long in late, this breakout above 100K, this is a dangerous zone to get into longs. Preferably getting into a nice day trade short, swing short, right down to the lows. So right now, with this movement, I have to say that there's two scenarios. It's not going to be easy. Got 93K. Okay, so you got this swing failure pattern, which is very much acceptable as well. This one even better. But if you did manage to long here, and there is a chance, I have to say, a dead cat bounce when you form this kind of wick. When you do form this kind of wick, right, you got a bit of a doji candle here on the daily. We don't like dojis at all-time high on a daily. It's not nice. It's not a nice candle to have at all-time high. You know, we know that. But overall, I do think that, you know, we're just gonna continue to the upsides. There is reasons to believe so. So let's talk about the zones where I would be interested in getting into a long position. You know, for anybody that, you know, maybe some of you guys, like someone said here in the comment section, I jumped in at 93K based on the recovery of this low. Maybe some sniper traders out there got into a long at $91,000, right? Absolute legend, whoever did that. Let me know in the comment section who longed $91,000, because he's a legend, whoever did that. Let's talk about the potential pullback. When we do create this dead cat bounce, what is very common is to fill part of the wick. Very common. Even though you don't fill the entire wick, it is very common to fill part of the wick. Now we want to try and understand what is the best zone, right? What is the best zone here? Will it bounce here? Will it bounce here? Or will it just form a V shape and go to all-time high, you know, between today and tomorrow? Weekends is coming up. The weekend is coming up. So we're probably going to be a bit rangy for the next coming days. You know, weekends are known by low volume, low price action, right? So it's probably not going to happen throughout the next 24 to 48 hours, even though Friday can get volatile before the end of the day. So, I mean, we just never know. If we do zoom in ever so slightly, okay, we're going to focus on this scenario, right? Just focus on the last couple of weeks, realizing that this was an ABC flat. Now I want to focus on this last leg down. Is this an impulsive move? We're just going to form a lower high. This is it. Bear market coming in right now. We're going to form a third wave down. I have to say no. The technicals are saying to me that this is unlikely, and more like this is more likely. Did I say that right? This is unlikely and this is highly likely. There we go. If we do zoom in on the latest price action, I want to understand how the price action moved down here, right? I want to understand in detail how we moved down here. Yesterday we understood this could happen. And now you want the reasons of, hey, why do you believe that it is highly likely, whatever the price does here, if it goes in circles or whatever it does, that we are going to take all-time high before taking this low? There has to be an explanation behind this, looking at the charts. Well, we need to understand the latest move from the last 24 hours, right? And this, we're going to zoom in ever so slightly on the lower time frames, on the 15-minute time frame, for example. This movement from all-time high moved in a, you could arguably discuss, you can count here a contracting diagonal, which, you know, does have 5 waves, very choppy and very ugly on the lower time frames. But then you do have a corrective structure here, then moving down very impulsively with high volume. So now is the moment that you say, wow, isn't this extremely impulsive? A lot of selling pressure. We are below 100K. Isn't that a huge barrier that we're just not going to break, and we're just going to form a lower high and go to lower levels? It is possible, right? We can never say that that cannot happen. Of course it can happen. Where we are getting resistance today is at the value area low from yesterday. The previous day value area low from the trading zone is what is providing us resistance. So it's extremely important to get above the previous day value area low successfully. That is what is providing us that resistance today. So anchored VWAP is also, right? The anchored VWAP, you get it from a high pivot low, higher time frame pivot low, or a higher time frame pivot high. You know, I think it's extremely important that we do get above the anchored VWAP as well for a successful continuation sign of strength. From the all-time high, it's basically the VWAP, right? The volume weighted average price. It is crucial to get above successfully this level. Also, almost with the previous day value area low. When we take a look at today's levels, yeah, basically previous day value area low, it's, you know, it's very important that we do get above there successfully. This is going to be some pretty interesting resistance. You got the last lower high right there before this major drop, which is, it is a crucial pivot. We love these pivots. We love these lower highs for, you know, potential liquidity grab. I mean, we want a big successful breakout above that level. That lower high is sitting where we have the anchored VWAP from all-time high. So, you know, getting above this level is crucial for a sign of strength. You want to break out successfully here from this level to be pretty confident that, you know, we could flip it as support and continue to the upside. If we do get rejected from that level, you know, it is a potential short, right? You're probably gonna, you know, if we were to slowly climb up here and we move up very quickly to that lower high that was formed yesterday before we got the major drop with the anchored VWAP. Matter of fact, it is the golden pocket zone from all-time high to the wick low that we formed yesterday. So there is some, you know, there is confluence here. There is resistance. And if we do fail to break above this zone and get the rejection, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a sign of weakness. We could be sweeping up those higher lows that we have formed from this dead cat bounce. I mean, we will know if we do get up there and we start effing around, right? This zone where we getting the resistance and the price is getting choppiness, especially if we do form bearish CVD divergence. I mean, we are on the formation of bullish CVDs, which is good, right? We are forming lower lows. We are getting shorts entering the market here. So, I mean, I'm going to talk about the specific long positions as well. But yeah, I'm preferably long, right? Because I am bullish and I do believe that all-time highs will be hit in the coming days, if not, you know, today. I would say coming days as we entering the weekend. But, you know, there is some shorts entering here. And these bullish CVD divergence are just going to continue. Now, what this means is that we are getting people shorting the market here, which is going to give us that fresh liquidity above us, right? We are going to see that fresh liquidity building up from short liquidations. People see this God candle to the downside and they're like, okay, we're going to short. This is it. 100K was the top, right? So we're just going to form more liquidity and we're just going to pop out above all-time high again, above $100,000 again, right? Because people are speculating that $100,000 was the top. This was it. We rejected, a lot of selling pressure. Let's short the market, right? So you are seeing with data that people are interested in the shorts, right? Multiple exchanges are shorting the market right now with this dead cat bounce. So if we do go to lower levels, those shorts will continue. We'll be still forming bullish CVD divergence from that wick low. I'm very much interested in a higher low here formation, and we need to know the specific levels and the specific technical levels to understand, you know, what is the best longing zone? You know, where could I put my stop loss? How can I manage my risk? You know, what we need to see on the price action. I'm going to give you several options because I don't know exactly where we're going to bounce. We might just V-shape recover because we're already forming bullish CVD divergence. You know, we're already getting lots of shorts entering the market. And we might just slowly grind here to the upside and end up in a V-shaped recovery. So preferably, I would want to see lower levels, okay? This is an aggressive scalp short, right? We're talking about the local resistance levels at the moment. And I would take this as a scalp and I would go with very low capital, good risk management. If we do get that rejection from the golden pocket from all-time high to the low of the wick of yesterday, if we were to bounce up to sweep up today's highs, end that last lower high, before we got the major drop, where we have the anchored VWAP as well, and we start dancing around in this zone with no successful breakout to the upside, I do believe that we could get a short scalp here to sweep up the lows. That is if these lows haven't been swept. So it's just an intraday scalp day trade idea. Only if we do get rejection. If we blast off from this level, I have to say this is a sign of strength. If we do get up there and we do get no reaction from this area and the price just creates that God candle of $1,000, $2,000, I have to say that would be a massive sign of strength. And, you know, I would expect kind of a V-shaped recovery here. Could there be the case where this forms a little bit of a zigzag scenario and then it breaks down? I mean, we're going to have to see a big breakout here with high volume getting above all of these support levels. But yeah, there is a potential for a little bit of a zigzag here and then break down. So it's not going to be an easy long. If we do successfully break out, we want to see that pullback, and we want to see proof of support, and we want to see a little bit of a pennant formation. We want to see some bullish CVD divergence here from these higher lows, right? So, you know, in a nutshell, giving the explanation, if we do get that breakout here, we want to see shorts entering the market, right? We want to see that movement, and we want to see some local lower lows right there and higher lows on the price action with a bit of a wedgie structure. Find that support. If we do form this kind of price action, we can be pretty much confident in getting into the long position. But we need to see this, right? We need to see this. So we need to see that kind of price action and bullish CVD divergence as we reclaim anchored VWAP, the previous day value area low. Hey, this looks bullish. We're wedging out here. Volume is decreasing on the price action to the downside. So if we do get this major pump, right, with a bit of volume, and then the volume is decreasing, we're forming a little bit of a three-wave structure here in this corrective move, you know, getting supported from anchored VWAP, previous day value area low. I mean, we could be easily looking for a double 1-2, 1-2, boom, and then the third wave is on the formation. We need a lot of we need a lot of price action still. This is, you know, this is extremely speculative. I don't know if this is going to happen, right? But if it does happen in this way that I'm explaining, we could be pretty confident that, you know, this zone is going to hold, especially if we do form those bullish CVD divergence locally. So I mean, that's, you know, that's a little bit of what I expect in this zone, right? It either breaks out successfully, very strong volume, and then we retrace with a little bit of a wedgie, you know, descending channel, flag, whatever, right? With bullish CVDs, you know, that's going to give us confidence to get into the sign of strength long here at the anchored VWAP, previous day value area low. We're back inside of the zone. Getting back inside of previous day value levels is very good. A common thing that Bitcoin does when you get back inside of the previous day value levels is, hey, previous day value level high right over here, if you break it, you highly likely going to claim the previous day value area low. You can see how we filled all of that momentum once we got in there. You know, same scenario. We can just look at the previous day right over here. What happened on the previous day once we broke out previous day value area high? In this case, right, we opened inside of the previous day value area. Very nice indeed. Bam, bam, bam. We got back inside the previous day value area low, value area high, sorry. We came all the way down to test the previous day value area low right there. So we filled that movement, right? You get back inside previous day value area, you're likely going to test the other side of the previous value area zone. Same happened yesterday. You got back inside of the previous day value level. Well, where do you come down? You know, you actually broke down. We knew this, right? We knew that this was a high chance that we were actually going to come even down to $90,000. So, you know, it's a sign of strength, and it gives you the higher probability that if you get back inside the previous day value area low, you know, you have a high chance that you could come up to previous day value area high. We can see it throughout multiple days. It happened here. It happened here, right? It happened, you know, right over here. It just consistently happens. So getting back inside the previous day value zone is going to give us, you know, confidence that we could go to the previous day value area high, which is basically sitting at all-time high levels. So we need to see that sign of strength, right? For the moment, all of this is resistance, and the price could roll down. That's how we need to understand this range for the trading setup, right? Maybe some of you thinking, you didn't talk about any setup. What are you talking about? It's a breakout sign of strength, form a three-wave structure in a wedgie pattern or whatever. Doesn't matter, zigzag basically in a three-wave. Local bullish CVD divergence. This pullback is going to be very interesting if we get it. Of course, sometimes we just don't get the pullback and we just break out and rock it, right? It could happen. If we get the pullback, it's going to give us, you know, a good zone. And, you know, I would speculate on stop loss below the higher low that is formed here, just to speculate in a double 1-2. So entry zone, stop loss, you're looking for all-time high risk to reward is pretty much interesting. The short trade is not, it's going to be a little bit aggressive. If you move up here, you get rejection, you SFP. There is a sniper short here if you do get rejected. Stop loss is tight above the high created. You anchored VWAP from all-time high. You got the golden pocket as well from the drop between yesterday and, well, basically yesterday's highs and lows. Golden pocket, attempting breaking above for golden pocket, and I would only take this as a scalp, looking to take profit at the session volume VWAP. So the session VWAP, getting my words mixed up here. The session VWAP, which is probably gonna, if we don't move down from here, this short scalp would be only sweeping up the lows down to the session VWAP. I would only take this as a scalp. With good risk management. That is if we do reject from that lower high, right? This is your guideline. This lower high is your guideline. You want to sweep the liquidity from this lower high, which is sitting at $99,600 before the major drop. That is your guideline. You want the wick above it, then below it. And then your stop loss sits above. This is where the anchored VWAP is from all-time high. There's your guideline to manage risk. And I mean, this would be only a 3-to-1 risk to reward or so. I mean, it's worth a shot. I'm overall bullish. This is why it's the scalp. We need to manage risk. I wouldn't go too crazy. It's just a little scalp. Hey, what if we do not move to the upside? What is your next plan, right? As I do believe that the highest probability here, and there's an explanation behind this, legends. Make sure to destroy the like button because we are getting people joining the stream. Guys, if you are new, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We very much knew that the highest probability yesterday when we were trading above $100,000 was actually coming down to $90,000. If you're new to the channel, we have pure technical analysis and explanations behind every single movement, giving the highest probability scenario. Of course, we never know what exactly is going to happen, but we do have higher probability movements and the lower probability movements. And we want to be inside the higher probability movements, right? Such as this one down to 90K that happened in a flash. So based on yesterday's analysis, it was a speculation that we were forming a flat. A flat in an uptrend, obviously, is continuation to the upside. So now the question is, if the price moves down, which are the levels where the price could bottom out? Where could the price bottom out? Could it be here? Could it be here? Could it be down here? Pretty aggressive move down, right? We're going to, shake out all of those believers that we are going to get, a higher low formation here. This is what we're going to explain right away. It's very important to understand the levels and understand how you want to trade this with very good risk management. Just in case my analysis is completely wrong and we're going to drop down to $80,000 throughout the weekend because some big fat finger, some big institution, right? Or we're going to get bad news. It's just going to create a big sell-off. And, all of this is just going to be a wave 1. We formed a wave 2. And we're just going to form a wave 3. And we're just going to go down to 80K and fill in that CME futures gap down at 70K, right? Which a lot of people put focus and energy, right, throughout the last few days. We've got a CME futures gap at 70K. Let me tell you, there's a CME futures gap down at 9K. Let me know when that's going to get filled. So let's just talk about the different local levels here that I would be interested in and how I want to manage my risk just in case I am wrong with the analysis, right? Because if we are wrong, we will pull out the stream tomorrow and say, guys, remember these levels that I mentioned? It just broke down, it just, we were looking at the wrong highest probability scenario and we need to stay humble here, right? We need to pull out, how could have we managed risk? If we are wrong, where did I get stopped out? because I cannot imagine the amount of long positions that ended yesterday, which were, we were seeing that on Bybit. We were seeing that on Bybit on the order flow. There was massive longs on Bybit entering here in this zone on the CVD. CVD was just going absolutely bananas. So many longs entering here. And I was saying, this is such a bad zone to get very into long positions. They got exterminated just with a 10x leverage. I mean, what was the drop yesterday? If it is a 10%, yeah, over a 10% move. All of the people that were longing yesterday with above 10x leverage, and I think 10x leverage is pretty reasonable on Bitcoin. Many people use 20x, 30, 50, 100x. The people that were over leveraging, their leverage was above 10x. In this area, all of the people that used more than a 10x leverage and added to position, I don't know what they did, but they got exterminated with this movement down. So, and 10x is not much on Bitcoin. 10x is a lot on altcoins, but on Bitcoin, it's not that much. So let's just continue here with this movement down. There is something good that I like about the movement down that could happen in the next coming hours. If we do get that leg down, we're going to talk about the levels and the different scenarios that I'm interested in and how I am going to approach it to get into a position, one position, two positions, it doesn't matter. If you get stopped out on one or two trades, if you manage risk, once you get the good trade, you are going to, you're going to pay your stop loss by 6, by 7, or by 8. If you get stopped out once or twice, when you get the good trade, you're going to pay it off by 5, 6, 7, 8 times, right? So it doesn't really matter. I'm going to explain in detail, what are the levels here that need to maintain our support and what do we need to see on the chart to take that decision. What is a good sign right now is that we are forming bullish CVD divergence. We're likely going to form those bullish CVDs right now throughout all of the exchanges. Not only most of the exchanges here. This is, Femex, Binance, different other exchanges. The one in yellow is Bybit, and we are likely going to be forming those bullish CVD divergence also on Bybit. So the question is right now, this is a very shallow pullback for me to get into a long position, right? And it might just as well form a higher low here and claim the highs of today. It is a move of $1,000, but I am not interested in this long right now. I would rather say that I've missed the trade long in here, this shallow pullback, instead of getting into this trading setup. Just because the pullback is extremely shallow from the low of the wick to the high, we haven't even hit the 236 Fibonacci. I would at least want to see the 236 being hit as a bare minimum of a shallow pullback. Just to take a trading decision. So if I get into a long at this level, I have a situation here, right? The main reason why I'm not long in here, even though I understand that this, because of the bullish CVDs, we could do this. Why am I not getting into a long position if we have bullish CVDs? Well, it has to do with stop loss. First of all, when I get into a trade position, and when you should get into trade position, your first question is, where is my stop loss if I am entering here, right? Does it make sense where I'm having my stop loss? Or will I just add to the position, right? Which is a very common mistake that most new traders do, right? New traders, I'm talking about traders with experience with 1, 2, 3 years even. It's a common mistake. Even though we know that a higher probability of a higher low here, hey, why don't you just DCA into a big epic long position? It could be an option, and I will throw out that option throughout the stream. It could be an option because you can scale in ever so slightly. If you're risking 0.5% of your account, you can have a 10x leverage, 8x leverage, your stop loss down here basically, or your liquidation beneath this low, and DCA in at certain levels of reaction. So let's explain that. right away throughout the stream, right? It's important. All of this is educational content, and you know how I'm trying to explain how you want to manage your risk to become a successful trader. If we are going to get that movement down, hear me out here, which we probably might not get, guys, but this is too shallow for a pullback for me to already jump into a long. And I understand that the price might just do this in the coming hours, but it's just too shallow for a pullback to get into a long. I just, my eyes bleed when I do see this kind of price action. If this does this, my eyes will bleed and say, oh, why did we get such a shallow pullback here in this level, not even hitting the 236 Fibonacci from the dead cat bounce? It sometimes happens, but I'd rather say I missed the long trade from that level. But I understand it could happen based on the amounts of shorts that are entering, right? People, when they see a big massive move down with high volume, they understand that this dead cat bounce looks like it's going to roll back down to fill most of the wick, if not the entire wick, right? It's the natural sentiment that people have based on a big crash down. That's it. $100,000 is a psychological resistance again, and we're going to roll back down. Just based on this theory, I can tell you already that the highest probability is doing this. So, but you know, this is a very shallow pullback to get into a long at the moment. So, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. Hey, do you want to get in with 0.3% of your account just to say, I ain't missing the long, I want to FOMO in, I know this could happen. If we do go down, I enter a small long position here, I will be ready to add to my long position with another 0.3% or maybe even 1%, right? I'm going to risk a little bit more, get your order coming to lower levels. I mean, take it with a pinch of salt. You can do that if you are not risking 50% of your account or even 10% of your account. You can do so, scale in ever so slightly here, just because there is a high chance that we will form a higher low in this zone. I really don't like that too much. You know, this for me is just not this is why a lot of the times you won't see me in a trade position, because I like to really get into specific levels. I'm very, very selective when I'm trading. But I have to say it's an option. So I'm not interested in this scenario. I'm not interested in long in here. I mean, we could get into a baby long position, right? Risk $10, right? Like I mentioned yesterday, or risk 100 or risk 1,000, depending on your risk appetite, right? How much you can risk from your account. By the way, talking about trading and talking about accounts, if you are not already signed up to Bybit, which is for me the #1 crypto trading platform, this is where I buy most of the cryptos on spot and also do leverage trading. There's other platforms such as 𝗖𝗍 and Bluffin or Weeks, but Bybit is the #1, guys. You have a great bonus down below with Bybit. Take advantage of that bonus. Also, you have Weeks, which basically with an email and a password you can sign up already. It's the fastest sign up on Weeks or on Bluffin, because you just need an email and a password. You have hundreds of altcoins here, hundreds of cryptos to trade with. You get that $20,000 exclusive deposit bonus on Weeks, guys. Take advantage of that right away. If you prefer Bluffin, Bluffin is also a great option. They do have proof of reserves. This is very important for an exchange. They don't do any funny business with the liquidity, so you can feel safe when you are depositing your funds on Bluffin, and you do get 10% cash back on Bluffin when you do sign up with the link down below in the description, guys. Check out Bluffin as well. It's a great alternative to Bybit. Let's continue here with the technical analysis, because I mean we're coming here, we're building up, legends, we're building up, okay, we're building up here the scenarios, but And I've gone over 30 minutes right now with the Bitcoin TA regarding the signs of strength to the upside and the resistance zones. It's very boring and I'm very slow, guys. I'm sorry, but hopefully, you know, I'm trying to explain a little bit the situation in detail, and, you know, just keep it slow. Maybe it's even better slow to get the, you know, basically so it sinks in, right? About this high probability move, in my opinion, obviously this is a too shallow pullback. You know, for me, I just cannot get into a long position here just because of the shallow pullback of the dead cat bounce. You know, since we got the dead cat bounce high, we haven't even hit the 236 Fibonacci. This is extremely shallow. Let's talk about an aggressive long situation, right? Because there is lower levels that I would be much more interested to take a long trade. And I'm going to be explaining that right away. This is if the first trade fails, right? This is if the first trade fails. If we do get that trade. Getting the shallow pullback to the 236 Fibonacci, right? It's the first most important Fibonacci level, the 236. What do we have at the 236 Fibonacci is the daily open. Today's open is at $97,109. Today, Bitcoin opened at this level. Daily open. 236 Fibonacci. It's still extremely shallow for a pullback. I understand that we could move up here, but I just cannot long here because I'm not going to put a stop loss here. I mean, you can have that strategy of DCAing in this zone with very small amounts of your capital. It's not really my preferred style of trading, but you can risk peanuts here and risk a couple of more peanuts right over here, right? Just to DCA into a position. First aggressive scalp long, very shallow pullback. Bitcoin does retrace down below $97,000, doesn't manage to break the daily open, and manages to succeed here with a movement up to sweep today's highs as a potential breakout and a sign of strength. The main reason this could happen, and I want to see a reaction and the failed move down and the recovery above the daily open. You're sweeping up this higher low. You're retracing at least at a bare minimum at the 236 Fibonacci. And then you're getting the rally all the way up to today's highs, which would be your first TP1. I mean, this is already a move of $1,800 approximately, right? Give or take, depending on your entry, a $1,500 move for a scalp. Absolutely, bring it on. We can make some money with a bit of leverage on that movement. I mean, yeah, ignore this arrow. I mean, this would be only if we do break out successfully. We could maintain a bit of that long position. So, I mean, this is an intraday aggressive long scalp. If you do get that reaction here from this higher low that was created today, which is a sweep and a failed breakout from the daily open, and potentially VWAP, yeah, we're just basically trading where the VWAP is. This stop loss eventually is going to come after the reaction of the low. You do not enter this trade as you're breaking down. You trade the reaction recovery from the low, and your stop loss is giving a bit of room from that low reaction failed breakout. You are targeting the highs of today as a TP1, so the risk to reward is not that great, right? You can see it on the chart. It's a 2.5 risk to reward. It might be more if you do successfully break out from the anchored VWAP and the previous day value area low. So it's a long trade that you can maintain if you do get a successful breakout. If you do not get a successful breakout from today's highs and you get anchored VWAP in here and you create a bit of choppiness, right, and you just don't manage to break through, you want to take your profits, right? It's a scalp. You're getting a sign of weakness, you're getting resistance. It might break out afterwards, but overall, you're getting the reaction, and we take profits on reaction levels because we don't know if the price is going to manage to break out or it's going to reject back down, create another low, right? So it's an aggressive scalp. It's another style of trading. You need to react to certain levels, right? So that's one scenario. More locally, more intraday, more aggressive, right? That could happen in hours, right? It's a scalp, if not minutes, right? Even. Other scenario here is that we break below the daily open and the price starts breaking down quite aggressively, right? We suddenly see the price moving down very aggressively. Oh my goodness, what's happening? The 382, the situation here with the 382 Fibonacci is that we don't have much confluence. We don't have much confluence right there with the 382 Fibonacci. I would prefer to see a bit more of a movement down. I think if we do break down from daily open, we could get that aggressive move down to lower levels. I mean, it could bounce at the 382, it could bounce at 50%. This zone is going to be, without a doubt, interesting. I mean, whatever happens here, if we do correct down below the 236 and we reclaim that daily open, you know, we could speculate on that long trade setup. We need a reclaim of the daily open though. That would be a sign of strength, meaning that we're not going to continue to the downside. If we break down pretty aggressively, 382 is usually a shallow pullback, so I would prefer the 50% to the 618 zone to start getting the choppiness and start getting those reaction zones, right? Getting the price to stop, right? Because I don't really want to catch a falling knife. Could you just react at the 382 and get a huge bounce? I mean, it could happen, but I prefer if we move down aggressively, right? Just say that the price does move down aggressively here. I want to see the price stopping at certain levels, right? I want to see the price stopping and getting a little bit of a double bottom wedgie structure. That is when we realize that we have proof of support. If we were to get down there, which I do see the chance that it might not happen, but I will be extremely interested if the price moves down here and we start seeing the price stopping, because if this were to be the case, this is the interesting long zone. This is a very much an acceptable pullback down to the 50% 618 most common zone, right? Where we could get that pullback and where we could see that proof of support. Matter of fact, it would be actually back testing, okay? And I know there should be a lot of people long in here, right? This is kind of the come back down to your entry zone for all of those people that were long in the V shape, right? Then you come back down to entry zone. Some people will get stopped out. Some people will be fearful. And this is basically the back test of the failed auction from these lows, right? That we created here just on Tuesday. $93,000, $94,000 area. This area right over here is a back test from a failed auction, right? If the price were to come down there, and I really think that it might not even come down there, guys. I do support the chance of the price creating a V-shaped recovery. We're forming bullish CVDs. We are getting people shorting the market. So we do have fresh liquidity above us. We already swept the liquidity that we do have below us, right? That was mentioned yesterday. We talked about, hey guys, you know, we might as well just come down and sweep up all of that liquidity below $93,000 and come down to 90K. So, you know, I am aware that the liquidity has been swept and Bitcoin potentially has a green light to just get a V shape. But you know, if I miss the long position from here, or the long position from the swing failure pattern of the lows of last week at 90,800, right? If I missed this long and I missed a long here, for example, right? Just jumping in based on the failed auction, I'm not going to long here. I'm not going to FOMO into the long here. So I really need the pullback and I really need to remain patient. If not, I have to say that, okay, I missed the long. My spot Bitcoin is what's going to provide, you know, the benefit from this V shape, right? So I personally cannot long here unless you enter with a small position and you're ready to add ever so slightly on the pullback, right? Not, you know, managing your risk, right? Never exceeding, you know, 3% of your capital, just in case the price does come down and starts breaking down. We don't want to do that, right? You want to manage risk, stay grounded. If you get the pullback, great. We know what we need to do. This would be more of a swing long position. If we were to get that pullback down to the 50% or the 618 Fibonacci, this long turns into a swing long, right? We're entering into the weekend, stop loss beneath the low. We are targeting all-time highs in the next coming days. Weekend is coming. We might get a lot of volatility on Friday. We might not get this, guys. We might not get this movement down. I want it. The pullback is very shallow here. We understand that most of the people do understand the aggressive move down. And I think people are interested in shorts on this dead cat bounce. And they're just basically going to get, you know, squeezed out. I understand that could happen, guys. But I have to say, you know, this is a difficult price action when you get such a severe liquidity grab and there's such a major crash that was, you know, very much anticipated throughout yesterday's stream. We mentioned this is going to happen fast. If you go throughout yesterday's stream, I was explaining that this movement is going to happen fast. Yeah, well, you can, I don't know, minute 49 potentially. We talk about the explanation. We said this is going to happen very fast, especially because it's very common for an ABC flat. But the situation right now, unless you did long, because when we are supporting the ABC flat, eventually you want a long here. Eventually you want to look for a long on the reaction of this low. It's quick. You only have a minute to get in, right? Because the price bounces very, very fast, right? A couple of minutes maybe, unless you're getting like 93K, you're entering a little bit late. But if you want the best entry, you got about a minute to decide, right? If you want to get into this SFP from the low. But eventually, based on yesterday's analysis, which was an ABC flat, of course, you know, from an ABC flat, we are eventually in an uptrend. If you do form an ABC flat, you are looking for continuation to the upside based on the reaction of the low. I mean, this was only looking at the short trade, but the long trade is also there. If you do form that ABC in an uptrend, you know, you are looking for continuation to the upside. So the option of getting into a long yesterday at the lows here, well, early this morning or late last night, depending on where you are, you know, this was very much a longing trade based on the analysis from yesterday. And of course, yesterday we are at this price action, but I cannot give you too many predictions, right? I cannot say long here, short here, you know, and then long here, then create another short, right? And try and predict every single wave that hasn't even happened yet, right? So if we are talking about the short yesterday, eventually on an ABC flat, you know, this is a good level to long, right? It's a short take profit into a long trade. I didn't put any limit longs here. It's not my style to put limit orders. So I missed out on the long. I was sleeping. It doesn't really matter, right? It's you know, there's so many opportunities every single day. This is why we look at analysis daily here, trying to predict those waves and different scenarios. And if you do enjoy that technical analysis and that educational content, guys, where we do back up basically the movements, okay, and also looking for altcoin opportunities, we'll get to some altcoins right now in the next coming minutes, guys. I'm so sorry, focused so much here on Bitcoin, but I hope you got the education, some education, and you know, really enjoying the analysis. If I'm just gonna ask one thing from you guys, and that is to destroy the like button, because smash up the like. Yesterday's live stream didn't get too much love. It was an early live stream just because we hit 100K, and we went, guys, $100,000. And then we're talking about the short trade, right? Pretty epic. smash up the like, legends, smash up the like, because we are here just to provide the analysis and the trading scenarios and the education, right? We'll go through some altcoins that I'm interested for the next coming weeks that I do believe that are going to do a 2, 3, 4x. So make sure to stay tuned now to the next few minutes. Buy the dip. Yes, sir. You're damn right. Great TA as always. RVM3. Thank you very much, my man. BTC needed all this attention. Alts will follow. Love your education, says 𝗕𝗶𝗴𝗫. Thank you very much, my man. You guys that stick around and really provide, you know, really put in the hours and a bit of the attention, right? You will become professional technical analysts. You will, guys. You know, this is not me having a crystal ball and saying exactly as predicted. This is just purely technical analysis and risk management, and combined you can make money. Okay, very good risk management and very good technical analysis combined will make you money, right? You just need to be very grounded and understanding the different scenarios. And if you want to learn how to read the charts and have good risk management, there's only one place to be. There's many places to be, okay? I've learned from so many different people throughout my career, but we've actually compressed that in modules as well in the Legends trading community. You also get access to the Discord where me, myself, and the rest of the coaches provide daily updates, 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 providing daily live streams, and you also get the modules. You have the Legends trading community, of course, where you are going to learn how to read the charts like a professional and come up with these kind of predictions, right? And it's not a crystal ball. I am not special. I dropped out of school. It's just many years and hours looking at Bitcoin every single day and understanding, you know, what kind of movements could happen next. Most importantly, the risk management that comes afterwards, right? First year, second year of people that learn technical analysis and trading, they have a situation with their risk, right? Their risk appetite, which you basically perfect, right? With the years of experience. Now, subscribe to the channel, smash up the like button, all of that, right? All of that. Casper runs fast. Definitely don't want to miss it. See, 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 Labs, right? There's a situation here with 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 Labs, and it hasn't pumped yet, guys. Sorry about this. But anyway, we kind of almost, we basically finished with Bitcoin here. Obviously, the preferred scenario would be getting a dip down here, down at least to the 50%, 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗍𝗫. I'm going to remain patient. If it pumps out, I have to say, well, I missed the long, right? I didn't long this. If you long this, you're an absolute legend. If you longed at 93K, we might not even come down to 93K. If we come down there, this is an interest, guys. You know, I would say that, you know, this is a back test. You're looking at 50% 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗍𝗫 from the dead cat bounce low to the high. You will be forming still very aggressive bullish CVDs. If we were to get that leg down of a few $1,000s, it's going to be looking very good on the CVD. And this is going to give us high probability that we are going to consolidate. We are going to form proof of support. Proof of support, it doesn't matter where it happens, guys, at the 382 or the golden pocket. But we need a reaction. We cannot catch a falling knife. Sometimes it just falls and then gets an instant bounce. But, you know, that's kind of a little bit of pure luck, right? Once we get these reaction zones, then it's, you know, it's much better, right? Those local double bottoms or triple bottoms, wedgie structures, they're epic, right? Because you can really catch the low on this reaction, right? It's better, basically, selling pressure getting exhausted, right? And you get those triple bottoms, a little bit of a wedgie structure, or you know, a broadening or not broadening, it doesn't matter. But this is really the interest zone. So if we go to the lower time frames, and I will take a look at 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫, because 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 has been dropping very aggressively the last, you know, few months, getting below the bear market lows of 2023 pretty aggressively. And 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 is really a pretty insane project. They must have had some token unlocks or something. I don't know. I haven't gone through the project, but 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 really looks like it's still in a very acceptable buying zone as an accumulation perspective, based on, you know, buying on spot and holding for the next coming months. We can go through 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 because the chart does look very interesting. and we can pull that out now and then after we finish Bitcoin. And this is like long term. We ain't talking about trading, but we're talking about spot trading on these altcoins. You can low leverage these different altcoins like 2-3x, right, and be ready to add a little bit on potential dips, but also mainly buying on spot just to, I know a lot of people are busy and they do not want to get into leverage positions. Just buy on spot and hold the unrealized losses for the next coming days if we were to get those pullbacks. So anyway, let's see if Bitcoin does manage to get the dip. And I would want to at least, if we do not get the reaction at the daily open and recover, I want at least the 382 zone, right? And this is the area where we have to see the reaction. The thing about the 382 Fibonacci from the dead cat bounce low to the high, the interesting thing is that we have that higher low right there from the dead cat bounce on the lower time frame, which is, it's kind of pretty interesting, right? 382, exactly where we have that first higher low. And I have to say, this is likely going to get a quick reaction if it is claimed. This is $95,600. If we dip down this low where we have the 382, it's going to get a quick reaction bounce. Sweep up the low, get above it. It's a bit of a sniper long, but this could be the zone. If we were to get down there, that it could double bottom, it might break down. Preferably we break down very aggressively and go to slightly lower levels, but I have to say we might not even move down the daily open, and we just formed a very shallow pullback and we're claiming the highs here in the next coming hours. Just because of the people that are shorting this movement, we're already seeing some pretty aggressive shorts entering the market, and this is a classic dead cat bounce. People expecting that we are going to fill most of the wick or part of the wick, and then the price just does bang, right, and just sweeps up the highs. It's a very, very classic move. So anyway, not easy. We are pumping right now as we speak a little bit. We are going to go through the altcoins. Okay, it's not easy, not an easy situation. It's without a doubt an easy situation. Preferably we want lower, like I said, but it's probably just gonna. Oh, we got the news coming out, guys. Oh, sorry, my bad. There's news. We're getting a bit of volatility at the moment. I was saying, okay, we're getting a bit of volatility on Bitcoin. Let's just quickly check what stock market is doing. We're probably getting stock market getting a pump. It seems like unemployment rate is lower than expected. We got a bit of a liquidity grab here from the lows on the stock market, getting a wick down, wick up. Let's see what happened with the news. Unemployment rate is 0.1% higher than expected. So unemployment is ever so slightly higher than expected, and the prices are pumping. This is, if unemployment is higher, usually it would create a bit of a higher, usually it would create a little bit of a bearish outcome, but it's so slightly higher, the unemployment rate, it's really not it's affecting the market in a bullish way. So unemployment ever so slightly higher than expected, and non-farm payrolls is higher than expected. So yeah, it's kind of balancing in between both. The market is getting a little bit of a bullish reaction. It got a wick down. I mean, if you're trading the stock market, well, you got a liquidity grab from here for an aggressive long. I haven't traded stock market in years. I mainly just trade Bitcoin. So, but overall, we got a little bit of a bullish reaction with the news coming out here. Pretty average, nothing too special. Unemployment rate pretty steady, just 0.1% higher. So nothing much to worry, right? BTC is pumping, yes sir. Someone is saying that SHIT is coming, guys. A pullback around 20% is on the way. Thank you for the education, says Les Bennett. You're very much welcome, my man. Much love to you. I love you guys. Jeff Jakes, interest rates will go down. Interest rates will go down. When do we get interest rates? Is that next week? I think it's next week where we do have... when is interest rates? It's not even next week. Unemployment. We got inflation rate next week. On Wednesday. That's going to be interesting to see. Gets a bit of volatility. Let's take a look at Casper Labs. Stock market getting a beautiful pump after the news. Let's take a look at Casper Labs, guys. This one is, I have to say, when we do take a look at Casper Labs, which was a very hyped up cryptocurrency project in the previous bull run, it launched, it got a big massive pump and dump. Casper Labs, when we and I have to say it's an L1, but I think this one, I haven't done much research myself on this one. Okay, I have to be honest here. I have so many people that are bullish on this from the team, right, and very much well-known people that have been in the crypto space for many years that are very bullish on Casper. Now, of course, this launched in the bull run, basically entering into the bear market, right? This is why when we get cryptos launching in the next 6 months, guys, after the bull run has continued, stay away from those new hyped up projects that are going to revolutionize blockchain or whatever, because they're launching at the wrong moment of the market. And I was very much aware of this about Casper when it launched, because this was a very hyped up project that launched, that was, you know, talked on multiple channels. Okay, it seems like they did have funds, they wanted to do marketing, but they just launched at the wrong moment of the cycle. Of course, what do you get when you launch at the end of the bull run? Well, you're going to get that cryptocurrency getting that huge major crash. But the project is real, it's active, and it has a good roadmap based on, you know, people that have been talking about me about Casper. You know, hey, you need to invest in Casper the other, and I'm saying I'm invested in so many different ones that I want to have some cash on the sideline still. But by the looks of things, this is a very much a good project for the future. Not on my understanding, based on, you know, what people have talked about that are in the crypto space and have done the analysis, right? The fundamental analysis, fundamental research. When we take a look at Casper Labs, right? I don't know what the heck happened here on Casper Labs throughout the previous, very volatile, right? Very speculative, a lot of pump and dumps, and obviously entered the bear market, right? And when we do zoom in throughout the bear market price action, I mean, this is where it is right now. It's just retesting the lows of the bear market from 2022. Where we are in this bull run, I mean, this has to be a spring point, right? This really seems like a kind of a bottom formation, and it's just dipped below the bear market lows from 2022. So it does look like that this could be a spring point, and it's going to start recovering in the coming months. So it is an interesting project. It's an L1. Apparently the team is active. They have a great roadmap. This one, where it currently sits, in my opinion, is worth to have some in the portfolio. I don't have some myself because I just, you know, I might allocate some of, you know, I might buy some. I have to say, I might buy some. It's a solid L1 project. Even though the prices are down here, you know, it's not even a mid-cap coin. It's a 266 million market cap, and this deserves to be in the billions. It does deserve to be in the top 50, right? With a couple of $1 billion as market cap. I think it has very much a high chance to be up there. So I think it's, you know, it's not in a bad area. Of course, it has pumped throughout the last few weeks. It has pumped over 150%, right, from the lows, over 200%. But if we are in a cryptocurrency bull run, which I very much understand that we are, you know, this has to be still an acceptable buying zone, because I would expect these highs to be swept at some point in the next coming weeks. It is getting a bit of resistance right now from the bear market lows, as you can see with the price action. It is getting choppy, but I think it's just building up here for a possible recovery, right? You know, this is classic price action that you do see from the last few months on many cryptos, right? But kind of a spring point here, and then you start sweeping up the lower highs. When you do take a look at a cryptocurrency such as CRV, we're just going to pull out this, guys. CRV, 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽. And I really regret not buying this one. This is a very solid DeFi project. And the thing about CRV, it had a massive liquidity crunch. Well, you got this basically the creator selling massive amount of CRV tokens. Let me just fix this right away. And oh my goodness, let's this is going to be very difficult right now, because we do have that massive price action on CRV. Hang on a second, guys. Yeah, just because we had that massive volatility, I want to try and scale this into the chart. When we do see this in the pinky right over here, we can change color, or it doesn't matter. Who cares? Is CRV linear chart here, right? So when we do see CRV, and I regret so much not buying at the 30 cent level, and I mean, this was provided from Aiden in the Legends trading community. He was saying great accumulation on CRV at the 30 cents. CRV went above $1, making over a 3-4x throughout the last few weeks. And last month we had Aiden saying CRV at 30 cents, where it is a great accumulation. When we take a look at 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫, right, just to understand the bear market, CRV did dip below the bear market lows. It created a kind of a spring point. It did dip below the bear market lows of 2022 and 2023. Once it recovered from the bear market lows, we absolutely shot through here, sweeping up all of the lower highs of 2023, right, and almost 2022, right? I do believe that CRV will get more upside continuation. When we do put this together with 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫, which is not in my understanding, from the understanding from a lot of people that are in the crypto space that have a lot of knowledge, saying that 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 will eventually break out at some point. When you put them together, you can understand that 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 is just at the bear market lows, getting a bit of a reaction first of all, but you know, I would expect this one at some point to recover from those bear market lows and start sweeping up those lower highs from the last 1 to 2 years. I mean, that's already a move of almost a 3x. And what I might want to make you understand that, based on a DCAing strategy, I think 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫, any pullbacks that happen here, I think it's a great DCAing zone. I wouldn't be too scared on the rejection of the bear market lows that's happening, right? It did have a pullback last week, basically, from the rejection, which would have got a really great buying zone. I think this is just going to build up in an ascending triangle formation. It's going to have very shallow pullbacks, and it will end up popping out here in the next coming weeks. So I have to say, I mean, even though it does pull back a little bit more, this is still a great buying zone, in my opinion. Basically, when we also look at CRV, which a lot of people were saying, all right, the CRV is dead because basically the creator has liquidated a huge amount of tokens. This is why CRV did get a significant dump a few months ago. And we need to understand that there's extreme high probability that the lower highs of the bear market will be swept, just like CRV is doing right now with this incredible rally. However, I am surprised that 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 has not recovered that much yet. It's just everything's gonna, everything doesn't pump back the same day, right? Some of them pump some weeks. Next week we're gonna see some other stuff pumping, right? And I think 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 does have a high chance that, despite any local pullbacks, it will end up breaking out, sweeping up those highs, providing that 3x potential. So, I mean, take it with a pinch of salt, guys. 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 has been pumping ever so slightly, right, throughout the last couple of weeks, but I think it is, based on not my understanding, from other sources, right, from other people that do have knowledge. Bought 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 at the low. Absolutely epic. Good on you. Very good. Very good. Yeah, 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 is, this could have been the bottom without a doubt on 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫. But I do still think eventually, if bull run has to continue, this will eventually sweep up these highs and very possibly just continue to the upside in the coming months, getting a big recovery. It's about time, right? This has had a brutal bear market. 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 has had already a brutal bear market, and it's kind of selling pressure exhausted. So, it is time for that bull market. It is time, and I think it's still at very acceptable buying levels. Dude, shut up and take a look at Bitcoin. Hey, don't tell me to shut up, my man. We are looking at altcoin opportunities. Do you know that we have been providing some great buying opportunities as well on Constellation DAG, Cadena, Illuvium? Don't tell me to shut up here on the stream, because I will kick you out, okay? All right? Don't tell me to shut up, because I will stop the live stream right away. No, then the other people deserve for me to be here. Missed that guy, says Pac-Man. Not to worry, man. Ungrateful. Dude, shut up and take a look at BTC. Were you here on yesterday's live stream? Did you see what we mentioned yesterday? Don't worry, my man. The analysis has been talked about on Bitcoin, okay? We don't need to take a look at Bitcoin. It is pumping. Yeah, this was the risk. This was not the risk. It was very much a scenario, guys. It's a very shallow pullback for me to get into long, but overall we're getting that $1,000 pump. There was the option of saying, guys, if you want to get into a small position, right, you just stop loss is really a problem here, based on this shallow pullback on this dead cat bounce, not even hitting the 236. Let's see how the anchored VWAP and this lower high reacts. If we just break out from that level, guys, then you know the deal. Sign of strength, we're probably going to V-shape. The analysis on Bitcoin has been explained the first hour of the stream. I thought it was going to be 20 minutes, but with so many details that we talk about on Bitcoin, the analysis has been done. If you want to take a look at Bitcoin, take a look at the first hour. It's been covered. All the scenarios, all the levels and possibilities has been covered on Bitcoin. So there's really not much to talk about. Next scenario is here based on the analysis we mentioned before. We want to talk about crypto opportunities as well, right? And understanding, how these cryptos could pump, guys. And it's classic to sweep up the highs, lower highs of the last year, right? Like CRV is doing. So I'm going to say that my target zone at a bare minimum on 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 is actually pumping, to around about the 6-7 cent level. I mean, that's already a 3x from current prices. Just be aware of any shallow pullbacks that could happen, right? People get scared with a 5-10% correction on their altcoins that they bought. Don't worry, guys. This is completely natural. This has been a devastating bear market for 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫. Imagine all of the people that have been accumulating, throughout the last 1 to 2 years. They're in the red big time. But it's about time for this to get a reversal in the next coming weeks. So take that with a grain of salt, guys. Just saying. and ban that guy that's been so disrespectful, saying to me to shut up. Hey, shut up and take a look at Bitcoin. That's not nice. That's not nice. It's not nice at all, guys. Yeah, 𝗶𝗫, guys, is one of them. This is great. 𝗶𝗫, you know where I think 𝗶𝗫 is going to go in the next coming weeks. We'll be pulling out 𝗶𝗫 in the next streams, just like we did with the rest of the cryptos that were mentioned throughout November and October. The buying zones where we need to buy and which levels I expect to be hit. 𝗬𝗫, my guys, 𝗬𝗫, come on. My goodness, 𝗬𝗫 was we talked about 𝗬𝗫 50, 60 cents. 70 cents was like, guys, you know, if you want to buy low, this is your last chance. 𝗬𝗫 is trading at $1.80 or $1.70, I don't know. Let's take 𝗶𝗫, guys, is one of them that I do think it's, you know, I do believe, I think based on the analysis, is still at a great zone. I do expect the March highs to be claimed in the coming weeks. It's a matter of being patient. We're building up this double bottom or ascending triangle. It might get a little bit of pullbacks, maybe to the 10 cent, 9 cent level. I would take that as an opportunity before we actually break out. This is a low cap crypto, so the money flow hasn't reached yet to the speculation of 𝗶𝗫, but it will at some point in the next coming weeks. It's about being patient. This one is one from 𝗕𝗏𝘆 that I will be allocating. We're getting actually a little dip here. I'm surprised that 𝗕𝗏𝘆 hasn't got a breakout. I have part of the team from the researchers that believe that 𝗕𝗏𝘆 is going to do pretty well in this bull run. However, it has not quite yet left the station. It's in a very interesting zone, without a doubt. I really prefer cryptos that are a little bit more rangy and not got a major dump and then a pump and retracement. I prefer a little bit more of a bottom formation, right, where the lows have been respected multiple times throughout, you know, the last few months. I have to say that 𝗕𝗏𝘏 got a little bit of a fake out or successful breakout from lower high right there. A bit of a fake out right there from the lower high resistance, right, from this descending lower high. It's one that I'm gonna I am actually gonna put a few $1,000s into this. I'll just, you know, throw out a little bit. 𝗕𝗏𝘏, supposedly based on the researchers that we do have, is a pretty solid project. And you know, this one hasn't, you know, it did have major hype throughout Q3 and Q1 of 2024. You know, it did jump from $4 or $5 all the way up to $40, right? So it did do a 10x in the first initial disbelief rally. So if this has to bottom out here in this zone, I would expect this one to gain some steam and some momentum in this bull run. 𝗕𝗏𝘏, layer 1, and it's a low cap crypto, so you have to kind of give this one a chance. You know, based on the researchers that we do have, that they do see this as a solid project. So, you know, take this with a pinch of salt. This could do very well, and it could potentially do that 5-10x in the next coming months. It still hasn't taken off. We still haven't had big major god candles, so you know, it's in an interesting area before it actually takes off, right, as we can see on the chart. 𝗕𝗏𝘏 can be traded on 𝗬𝗏𝘶. We do have 𝗬𝗏𝘶 as you know, a great exchange. You can trade 𝗕𝗏𝘏 here on 𝗬𝗏𝘶 and multiple of the coins that we do talk about, guys. You know that Bybit for me is the #1 crypto trading platform. This is where I mainly do my trading, and for me it's #1. They have an incredible track record. You do get a great bonus down below in the description, guys, with Bybit, just using my referral link. If you cannot trade on Bybit, great options is Weeks. And also Bluffin, with Wix, you get a $20,000 deposit bonus just with an email and a password. You can sign up. And Bluffin has 10% cash back just with an email and a password. Also, you're signing up, and 10% cash back, guys, from your initial deposit, of course. Take advantage of those bonuses, guys. You got the links down below in the description. That is solid platforms. Bluffin has proof of reserves, okay? So this is something very, very good that you want from an exchange, okay? Let's take a look at another few altcoins before we continue. Can you pull up the live ADA chart? It's time for a pullback. Okay, let's take a look at some altcoins here for the community. Why not? All right, let's take a look at some. Let's take a look here at some altcoins from the community. Why not? Andy the best, says Mitchell. Not the best, my man. Super chat. Oof. Let's take a look at some super chats. We have Roger here from, we got a bit, we could not go through these shilling chats, okay? Super chats. Roger, I'm sorry. We know it's a shill super chat because you've super chat throughout the last few weeks with the same altcoin project. Hey Andy, is Solidus ATH at good buying levels? Let's take a look at that right away, guys. Make sure to destroy the like button. Oh my goodness, we over 1,000 people, almost 700 likes. If we do smash up the like button, guys, we do provide technical analysis and also providing the levels and scenarios from the previous live streams, which ones got the reaction, the possible setups that we mentioned on Bitcoin mainly, and also looking for altcoin hunting with so many different altcoins that we got in very low at great buying levels. And we do have new ones. I mean, I have to add 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 because 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 looks pretty damn good, and this is a solid project and has had such a massive downtrend throughout the last few months, and I think it's going to have an epic recovery. So we need to add 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 into that. I do believe the lower highs here at the 6-7 cent level are going to be swept. That's already giving you a potential of 3x. These small little pullbacks on 𝗕𝗶𝘆𝗽𝗫 that do happen throughout the next coming days, I would see as an opportunity. We do have 𝗫𝗫 PRQ, also a 3x potential for the next coming weeks, okay? Obviously higher, but we do not want to buy at these levels. We already want to be in the pump and take advantage of that pump and be almost risk-free from our buying levels, guys. There will be a moment where altcoins are just flying and the opportunities regarding spot and accumulation will run out. We will run out and we will fully focus on Bitcoin technical analysis and trading setups. Anyway, let's take a look here at some altcoins. Somebody is saying that ADA is about to pop. What's going on with ADA? ICP also to take the March highs. It's going to happen at some point. Will ADA pop out? Are we forming a little bit of a wedgie structure just like we did last week here? It does look very promising, guys, I have to say. There is a bit of a wedgie scenario here that could just continue the momentum. If you want to get into a breakout trade, make sure to manage risk. Eventually, we are looking for those highs to be claimed once again here for ADA. And I prefer even the lows to be swept. These are my favorite buying zones. You sweep up the lows one more time, and instead of getting into the breakout, you're basically getting into the recovery of the lows once again to then maximize your profit. Maximize your profit, basically, right? Instead of getting into the breakout. But it does look like that this does not want to stop anytime soon. ADA. Solidus ATH. Let's take a look at this one from the super chat. Solidus ATH. Oh, this one rallied quite a lot, right? ATH. This one already rallied quite a bit throughout the last few weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. Well, it didn't get such... Well, it didn't quite leave the zone. Massive hype on this one back in Q1. My goodness. Whew. You want to stay away from do anything here, basically. You don't want to do anything with this parabolic move, guys. If we're not inside of the pump, we just don't do anything here. This is why Constellation, DAG, Cadena, all of these ones, we're just not getting into the pump. If you're not in already, It is dangerous to get in. This one kind of broke out from this double bottom. It's kind of testing the neckline, or hasn't quite yet tested the neckline from this double bottom scenario, or ever so slightly, you would say, right there. Double bottom, neckline, looks pretty solid. If we do sweep up the low, this ATH one, I mean, this must have got listed on so many exchanges because it had a major pump. Yeah, it's on 𝗬𝚻 and multiple different ones here. Going back to this one, if you want the best buying zone, hey, let's keep it clear. If you have swept up the high and you formed a double top, this gives you a high probability that this low is going to be claimed. That is your buying zone. Once you sweep up that level, that is where you want to buy before the price recovers. It's simple. If you've swept up the high and you do not break down successfully from this low on Tectum at 13 cents, I mean, I'm not sure if you want to leverage trade this, but ATH, I mean, this one can be used for leverage as well on 𝗬𝚻. You can buy on spot and also leverage trade this one on 𝗬𝚻. I mean, I have to keep the strategy simple. If you claim the high after a retracement and you've double topped, basically swing failure pattern, there's high probability that these lows are going to be swept. Now the question here is, will it break down successfully, or will you test it and recover back above? That's giving you your long entry with your stop loss to recover back up to the highs and potentially continue to the upside. For me, it's simple. I would really, I mean, unless it's going to be a running flat, which is rare, and forms a higher low right there, and just, you know, forms an ascending triangle formation. They are rare running flats. You would usually look for that low to be hit. I mean, I would set some alerts here on the low. I'm going to set some alerts myself, because if we do sweep up the lows, I would, you know, it's an acceptable long trade back up to the highs. If you do not successfully break down from that low, I would not long here. I will be long in here with my stop loss beneath this low and just look for the highs, looking for that 3-4 to 1 risk reward. So, I mean, that's how I would approach this. You know, your best case, the most bullish case scenario here is your ABC flat after creating a double top. That's the only bullish case that you have, unless you've double topped here and you're just going to break down very aggressively and you're going to lower levels. I mean, that's the intraday scenario. It would make sense to create a double bottom instead of a double top and form that flat structure and continue to the upside, just because you are retesting the neckline from a much larger double bottom. So it would make sense for the price to actually maintain this resistance as support and bounce back. Oh, I mean, there's an epic swing long trade here to be taken with no doubt. This one can be traded on 𝗬𝚻, guys. 𝗬𝚻 has the lowest fees out there. Check out the link down below, because you do get the best bonus available on 𝗬𝚻, right? Which is a $20,000 deposit bonus. 𝗬𝚻, guys, very low fees, hundreds of altcoins to trade. Check it out. If you can't trade on 𝗬𝚻, Weeks is a great option. They have the highest one of the highest liquidity exchanges out there. You get also a $20,000 deposit bonus, if not bluffing as well. Great option, as you do get that 10% cash back from your initial deposit. Let's continue here with a few more altcoins legends. 𝗬𝚻 is on fire. What's happening with 𝗬𝚻? Yeah, 𝗬𝚻 being the DEX from Solana. Is 𝗬𝚻 popping out? I mean, it did get a pullback. 𝗬𝚻, yeah, it's still retracing. I mean, 𝗬𝚻 had an epic rally the last few weeks, I have to say. Oof. I mean, there's two scenarios on this one. I do expect bullish continuation. This either, you know, continues this wedgie structure, or it actually sweeps up this low. I would be more interested in the sweep of the low here at $4. I will set some alerts. It's just a classic movement. I'm going to set double alert like I like. You know, will it form a higher low? Maybe yes. It might break out from the wedge and just get up to the highs. But if you've claimed the highs like this, you know, ABC flat is so common. It's so common. Would be nice. And I know Ray can be traded on Bybit and many other platforms. You can buy on spot and even leverage trade Ray here on Bybit. You got leverage trading on Bybit here on Ray. Bybit for me, #1 legends. As you know, you got the link down below in the description. Link to end the stream. Link to end the stream. Let's take a look at Chainlink. Of course, we do have PRQ still in the accumulation zone, guys. Mavia and Kanto. I got someone in the Legends trading community. Kanto is an L1 project. I haven't done much research on Kanto. No research at all, let's be honest. Kanto is an L1 that, look where it is, right? Will this gain momentum? Kanto is a low cap L1 project. It's got a 10% pullback today. I mean, these are degen, aggressive, 18 million. I mean, if you're looking for that 20-30x, you know, without a doubt, these kind of ones do have a chance. The chart looks amazing. It's like, you know, come on, this one's got destroyed already in the bear market and has a very large multi-monthly sideways action. When you get these multi-monthly sideways action, you do have a high chance for the next coming months to gain some attention, right? Not even here, we formed a beautiful bottom formation. This bottom formation that we formed throughout the last few months is way sexier than this one, right? It's much more sexy because it's basically found a floor where it does look like it's just not going to go to lower levels. I mean, I have to take a look. I would take this one into consideration, even though if it's a crap project or not. It's an L1 low cap that hasn't really taken off aggressively just yet. And this bottom is much sexier than this one. I mean, look what happened with this one after the selling pressure. This one, very sexy. Kanto, I have to say, hey, Rohan Malhotra, I think this is the guy that actually talked about Kanto in the Legends trading community to see if I could take a look at it. It does look very sexy without a doubt. I have to say, this is worth the speculation. I haven't done any research because I just pulled out this one quickly before the stream as I read your message. But I really like the chart. You know, if I am good at doing something, is detecting bottoms, guys. You know, I love bottoms. You know, I'm very good with bottoms. You know, we can do all sorts with bottoms. You know, you get the deal, right? And this is a beautiful bottom. So, hey, let's leverage this bottom, right? Take advantage of the bottom, you know. Great pronunciation. Anyway, let's take, I love a good bottom, says Dragosh. There we go. Let's take a look at Chainlink. Wesley, my man, thanks for the super chat. Hey, Andy, could you do TA on Swell? It's all related new coin with a low market cap and is listed on Coinbase. Swell, let's see if Swell has formed a bottom, because if not, in that bottom we will swell, right? You get the deal. Let's take a look at Swell. And my goodness, these names. When was this one launched? I have no idea what this is. Swell, no, sorry, not this one. Swell, this one. Swell, Ethereum. When was this one launched? I'm talking about the chat bottoms. Pac-Man, I really wanted to get there, but I was not going to say this out loud on the stream, right? that I really wanted to get to kind of that comment, but the wording, I didn't want to put the wording right, but you nailed it. There it is. Based on Swell. yeah, this one, I have no idea what this is. But damn, what a name. Yeah. The restaking yield layer based on swell. I mean, this is from the super chat. Let's pull out the chart. This one is available on BitGet, Bybit. Also, there we go. Swell. What's going on with swell? Yeah. Swell on the chart. See what we have. What do we have here with swell? I want to see a chart that we do have a lot of data and very wicky, as we were testing here the highs from in November. Very wicky. I mean, I'm not sure if this project is insane. We got a bit of a neckline here, a bit of a failed, very dodgy humpback Notre Dame inverted head and shoulder kind of structure, right? There's a bit of a humpback here, inverted one. Very choppy, very volatile. I mean, the best scenario here to speculate on a long position or buy on spot is get the reaction back from the lows of this range that we formed the last few days. I mean, this one, can it be leverage trade or basically bought on spot? Spot trading. Also, you do have leverage trading on swell on Bybit. If you are interested in trading, Bybit, #1 trading platform. You get the best exclusive bonus down below with a link in the description, guys. But taking a look at swell, not the best chart that I like. I mean, this could be forming a head and shoulder and breaking down. But if we do sweep up these local lows where we formed a proven base in the next coming days or hours, this would be the reaction zone where I would be interested. It might be a bit of a wedgie structure. If you want to get into the lowest level possible, this is the 4.3 cent level on swell. Regarding the project, I have no knowledge on the project. Of course, I don't know what it is. But looking at trading opportunities, without a doubt, you know, sweeping up these local lows from the last week would be your best chance here for a long trading setup or a reaccumulation. This might be a humpback Notre Dame inverted head and shoulder. It's just getting a bit of volatility from that neckline, and we'll end up breaking out in the next coming weeks. But manage your risk, sweep up the lows, wouldn't go too crazy. Legends, thank you very much for joining. ICP is close to parallel level. ICP, I have a bunch of ICP here on Bybit. I did buy aggressively ICP at the $9-10 levels. I haven't sold some. I want to sell some at $21, but I have it here on Bybit ready to sell. I've got a huge amount of, I have about 7,000 ICP that it's just, I'm looking for a quick flip. Did buy in at very good levels. Will we come back down to the entry zone that we mentioned the last few weeks? I don't know. But yeah, buying these cryptos on the pumps is not a great idea. Legends, thank you very much for joining today's live stream. If you want more updates from me and the rest of the coaches, I mean, weekends, we do chill on the weekends, take advantage of the family. You do have the first link down below. Here you have the Legends trading community. You have Aiden providing the insane setups here in the setups channel, daily analysis, education. You get the modules to learn from basics to advanced, so we can spot some setups just like this one yesterday. My goodness. Woo! What a great prediction, right? From pure technical analysis and liquidity eventually. Legends, thank you very much. Have a blessed and great weekend, and I will see you in the next one.